Welcome to From a Fan's Perspective. This is a show about a fan's perspective on pop culture, movies, music, what's going on in the world, and pretty much that's the premise of it, honestly. I am not an expert. I want to remind you, I am not an expert. A lot of the information I give you, you can Google yourself. Google is your friend. Now, if you really like what I'm saying and everything I'm talking about, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe, click that bell, or better yet, go ahead and click on the link in the description for my Patreon page, pledge $3. And the more money that is made from this show, the more money I'm able to put into the research, the more money I'm able to put into putting these videos out, and the more time I can spend with you guys. Now, on with the show. In October 1995, Suge Knight and Jimmy Iovine paid $1.4 million bail necessary to get Tupac released from jail on charges of sexual abuse. At the time, Shakur was broke and thus unable to make bail himself. This prompted one of the biggest signings in history of hip-hop at the time. Tupac signing to Death Row, honestly, was... At the time, it felt like a good fit. It felt like it made sense for them to put Tupac on because Tupac had a cool relationship with him. He was already down with him. He was already an Interscope artist. He just needed that background platform. Upon being released, Suge Knight ordered every artist on Death Row to give whatever projects, tracks they were working on to Tupac, no matter what it was. If Tupac heard it, he liked it, it was his. Like, for instance, California Love was originally Dr. Dre's. Dr. Dre was working on a new album, but California Love went to Tupac, and there was a whole bunch of other songs, too. One of those songs happened to be on disc 1, number 4, My Mind Made Up. Now, this features, on the track list of the actual album, it features Daz, Kurupt, Method Man, and Redman. Okay, now, out of all the songs on both discs of this album, this is the only one, even back when I was young, when this album came out, I was a kid, it felt out of place. I'm not going to lie to you, because you got all these hard West Coast songs, Ambition as a Rider, all About You, How Do You Want It, Two America's Most Wanted, all these songs, like, fit the bill, but number 4, My Mind Made Up, just felt out of place. Because when you listen to that song, you felt like it was, not saying that Tupac couldn't hold his own, but he was definitely out of his league when it came to the lyricism on that album. Because you got Daz, Kurupt, Method Man, and Redman. Not to mention at the end of the song, you hear... Well, wait a minute. Was that Inspectah Deck? Why is he here? Now, at the time, there was no Google. There was no way to really listen and find out the information. You just had to kind of just assume that, maybe Tupac, maybe Inspectah Deck was in the studio and they was just drunk and he just put that on there and they just left it on there. Because if you listen to the story of All Eyez on Me, they were doing a lot of recording. They had that album recorded in 6 months. 6 months. The album, it took them 6 months to do a double album. Back then, that was unheard of. Nowadays, that can be pumped out because of all the digital stuff. I mean, hell, the setup I have in my apartment right now, I could probably record a double disc album in less time. But at the same time, back then, it was different because studio costs, the equipment was a little bit more complex. So for 6 months of a double disc album, especially a rap album to come out, a lot of people didn't understand how he did it so fast, but most of those tracks was done, including this one. Now, the story of this song basically was that it was supposed to be for either a Daz album or a Dogg Pound album, depending on who you talk to. Okay, Method Man and Redman were in LA. They went to Daz's house. Inspectah Deck. Rage was supposed to be on the song too. According to Daz, Rage didn't really, I guess she was taking too long to write her verse, or she got her verse. But anyway, the original song was all put on ADAT. It was 3 ADATs. Daz had them. Kurupt and Daz confirmed the story. Basically, I guess Daz lost them or something. Well, Kurupt said Daz lost them. Daz said he left them at Dr. Dre's house. When Tupac came home, Tupac heard the song, he liked the song and told Daz, hey, I got a song with Method Man and Redman. Played the song, and Dr. Dre told Tupac that he did the beat when Daz did the beat. Now, in Dr. Dre's defense, Daz wasn't really quite known as a producer, so that's what a lot of big producers will do. They'll take their protege's work and pass it off as theirs for notoriety and just cut the person a fee. But there was a lot of shady shit going on in Death Row, so I don't know if maybe Dr. Dre was just trying to get the credit for it, but anyway, it was Daz's beat. So that's what kind of sparked Tupac's whole thing with Dr. Dre. Like, man, fuck that. You know, what you doing? You know, you can't be just claiming this nigga's work. Because if anybody knows Tupac, Tupac's all about giving people their credit for their work. He's all about supporting black-owned businesses. I actually heard a story one time where Tupac went to Carl Kanaki into Tupac and wanted him to pose for some pictures in his clothes, and Tupac didn't charge him because he wanted to see black-owned businesses rise, which is very notable. This is one of the reasons why I love Tupac. But anyway, so they got the song. Tupac records his verse for the song. Method Man and Redman's verse is already recorded. Dad's vocals are already recorded too. So is Inspectah Dex. Rage, I don't know if her verse was recorded or if it was missing, but I'd be really curious to hear it. But so at the end of the song, after Redman raps, Inspectah Dex comes in. Now, Tupac wanted his verse off. I don't know why. I don't know, because maybe he didn't know who Inspectah Dex was. But according to Kurupt, it was like, Tupac was like, nah, fuck that, take him off. Now, you know, so no, they didn't want to take him off because they liked his verse. They're like, man, Tupac, this shit's tight. Tupac, at that time, he was in such a rush to put the project out. He was like, look, just take him off. Take him off. So they took him off. It was Tupac made the call. Sugar already made the whole, okay, if whatever Tupac wants, Tupac gets. I mean, they just invested $1.4 million in this man's bail. They got to make that shit back. So they took him off. But they kept his vocals. So that's why at the end of the song you hear, this album was released in 1996. So when I heard that song, which by the way, this is one of my favorite songs on the album, by the way. So at the end, I always wondered what was going on at the end. So, and it wasn't until 2020 when I finally heard the original song, or at least what, you know, whoever put it together, because I still haven't heard Rage's vocals yet. And I'm not gonna lie, I think maybe because I've heard the song that's on the album so much that I'm kind of partial to the original version. But now it feels like Inspectah Dex's verse is out of place. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you listen to the original version, it's like, okay, you know, I mean, because you listen to it all the way up until Inspectah Dex's verse, you know, it sounds the same. And then all of a sudden you hear Inspectah Dex come in. It sounds like when you go on YouTube and them local rappers be like trying to throw their verses on like famous rapper songs. They take the acapellas, maybe trying to, you know what I'm talking about. This like sounds like that, but you know it's Inspectah Dex, so you got to get respect. But I think it's because it's been so many years that and nobody's really known about this original version. It's, you know, it's kind of like, just like when you hear the original version of Wonder Why They Call You Bitch by Tupac, which I should do a video on that too. The original version features Faith Evans. Now, it's kind of in reverse because now, once I hear the Faith Evans version, I prefer that version over the original version. Not saying that Jewel didn't do a good job on that song. I think Jewel was on that song. But Faith Evans put a little different type of stank on that song. You know what I'm saying? Almost like she was fucking Tupac before they made that song. I'm just saying, hey, don't get mad at me. But anyway, it was something about Faith Evans' version of that song that just stuck out. But anyway, I'll do a separate video on that song. But My Mind Made Up is one of those songs that, like I said, when you listen to the whole All Eyes on Me project, then listen to My Mind Made Up, that it doesn't really it stands out like a sore thumb. And not to mention Method Man and Redman, they weren't in their prime, but they were rising stars. It was kind of like Jay-Z for between Reasonable Doubt and Hard Knock Life. That, you know, when it was a little bit easier to get a feature from Jay-Z between that time, it was way easier to get him on the track. It was way easier to work with him because, you know, he wasn't quite the Jay-Z we have today. In fact, he wasn't the Jay-Z we had today at all. You know, it was like that. Method Man and Redman, they had How High, Muddy Waters was out, T2, Judgment Day was out. So, you know, they were really starting to really come up and bubble. The whispers of a Method Man and Redman album were just starting. So it was like, it was kind of like, okay, you got Method Man and Redman on your album, Tupac. Why the hell didn't you make a video for this song? Now, understandably so, Tupac did die not too long after that album was released. But honestly, that was one of the songs. I would have preferred a video for My Mind Made Up over a video of I Ain't Mad at You. I mean, I Ain't Mad is dope, don't get me wrong, but this one has star power. This was like you had Method Man, Redman, the Dogg Pound, and you on one track. While lineup wise that didn't make sense at all, it was still a dope song. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was one of the reasons, and that's one of many reasons why I feel like Death Row made a lot of bad decisions, because I think somebody really should have stepped in and told Pop, look, you sitting on gold here, trust me, let's make a video, let's promote this song, let's push it out there. But as you know, Tupac got caught up in the whole Death Row versus Bad Boy, East Coast, West Coast beef. He was really going through a lot. I really feel like Tupac was just trying to get this deal done so he can just go on with his life, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Tupac. You know, he definitely was taken from us way too soon. All Eyez on Me, don't get me wrong, that's a very dope ass album. I love that album. I remember when I was back then I bought that album. I actually spent my last $30 on that album, because back then buying a double disc album wasn't cheap. So it was like one of those things, when you got it, it was like you had it. You know, I bought the CD too. So all my friends were like, oh man, you got the CD? And you know, and it was crazy because when I bought the CD, my disc 1 got stolen like within a month. So all I have was disc 2, and which I had to listen to disc 2. And then I ended up finding my disc 1. My homeboy had it. He lied and said it was his, but I had my initials on it in Sharpie, real small, so he could see it. So then he got mad at me. But anyway, All Eyez on Me, dope ass hip hop album, definitely a classic. Listen to the album, listen to the whole album, and make sure you pay attention to number 4 on this one, which is My Mind Made Up. You'll see what I'm saying when I say that song sticks out like a sore thumb in that whole, out of all the songs on that disc. The only other song on that album I can say which sticks out as well was What's Your Phone Number at the end of this one. That song, while I like that song too, it's kind of a weird song because it samples 7779311 by the time, and the song is just weird, but at the same time, it sticks out like a sore thumb, like My Mind Made Up. Not as good as My Mind Made Up, but it's still a dope song. But when you put it all together, it all sounds like it makes sense. So, but yeah, definitely that's a funny story. If you really go and research this, you'll listen to Daz tell a story, Kurupt tell a story, Method Man tell a story, Redman tell a story. You know, you'll laugh because it's like, man, you know, this is the craziest shit ever that this happened. You know, this was one of those things where, you know, they catered so much to Tupac that they didn't really look into what they had. And I think if somebody would have really took a second, maybe even a third look at All Eyez on Me before they released the album, a lot of changes would have been made. Because, you know, while it was a dope ass album, you know, hearing it, there was a lot of mistakes in the album. So, but anyway, it's just a fan's perspective. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments. Let's talk about it. What do you think about the song? Do you think it's one of the dopest songs on the album? Do you feel like they, you know, Tupac made a mistake by taking Inspectah Deck and Rage off of the song? Let me know what you think. Holla at your boy. Thank you for watching. If you like my content, I would love for you to support my Patreon page. Starting as low as $3 per month, you can contribute to my media. Contributions allow me to upgrade equipment and more time to dedicate to bring you up-to-date videos and merchandise. Click the link below in the description to get started today. And again, thank you so much for supporting me all these years.